The Nightly Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, public confidence in Sri Lanka's financial system improves short-term but weakens over medium-term outlook. Government targets $6.5 billion in export earnings from tea, rubber, coconut and cinnamon by 2030. Sri Lanka's stock indices fall as market sentiment weakens amid economic and global pressures. And Swatch unveils a tariff watch designed to protect 39% US tariffs on Swiss-made timepieces.
From Studio 24C, here's Prashansa Gunawardena.
Good evening and welcome to the Nightly Business Report. Confidence in Sri Lanka's financial system improved short-term but dipped slightly over the medium term according to the central bank's latest systematic risk survey. Despite positive lending trends, global economic challenges and rising risk continue to affect medium-term outlooks.
Confidence in Sri Lanka's financial system improved in the short term but declined slightly in the medium term, according to the central bank's latest systematic risk survey for the second half of 2025. Respondents showed increased confidence in stability over the next 12 months, while confidence over the next 3 years saw a marginal drop. The survey highlighted rising global macroeconomic risks, including geopolitical tensions and a slowing global economy. Private sector borrowings increased by 201.5 billion rupees in July 2025, crossing 9.5 trillion rupees for the year so far. The banking sector's willingness to lend index rose in Q2 of 2025 but is expected to dip in Q3. Despite challenges, favorable liquidity and a positive economic outlook are expected to support credit growth in the near term.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has announced that the new 2,000 rupee note will be gradually released into circulation as banks calibrate their cash handling machines. This calibration is necessary to ensure the smooth acceptance and dispensation of the new currency through ATMs amid other banking channels. Licensed commercial banks across the country are currently undertaking this process, which will determine the pace of the note's rollout. The commemorative note issued on the 29th August celebrates the central bank's 75th anniversary and is the first to feature President Anurakumara Dissanayaka's signature. Once calibration is completed, the note will be fully accommodated across all banking systems nationwide. The central bank has assured the public that the new currency will be seamlessly integrated, marking a significant milestone in the country's currency history. The government aims to generate $6.5 billion in export earnings from tea, coconut, rubber and cinnamon by 2030. Minister Samantha Widiaratne highlighted strategies to boost agriculture exports despite recent challenges.
The government has set a target of $6.5 billion in export earnings from 4 key crops, tea, coconut, rubber and cinnamon by 2030. Tea is expected to contribute $2.5 billion, rubber $2 billion and coconut $1.5 billion and cinnamon $500 million. Plantation and Community Infrastructure Minister Samantha Widiaratne emphasized the importance of agriculture in driving foreign exchange earnings amid economic challenges. The sector has faced difficulties, particularly due to fertilizer shortages, which the government plans to address with a new QR code distribution system. Improved political stability and rule of law are boosting investor confidence and encouraging investments in the sector. Industry experts welcome the targets but stress the need for consistent policy support, international marketing and value addition to remain competitive globally.
Sri Lanka's aggressive VAT reforms in 2024 contributed to a 2.2 percentage point increase in the country's poverty rate, according to a World Bank report. The report criticizes the government's heavy reliance on regressive indirect taxes, which disproportionately burden the poor, with VAT consuming a large share of income for the poorest household. Despite significant revenue gains since 2022, the narrow tax base has strained lower income groups without broadening taxpayer participation. The World Bank calls for a shift towards a more balanced fiscal strategy focused on increasing direct taxes to ensure equity and sustainable growth. Key recommendations include introducing a minimum 15% corporate income tax and overhauling costly tax incentives to improve revenue. Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Sri Lanka's stock market continued its downward trend with both major indices closing lower. Investor sentiment remained subdued amid local and global economic uncertainties. For further insights on this, we have Manusha Kandanarachi from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Prashansa. Echoing the last week's sentiment, the Colombo stock market extended its sell-off primarily due to profit-taking in banking sector counters. The all-share price index closed in the red at 20,366, recording a loss of 246 points as well, witnessing the largest intraday decline since 23rd June 2025. Commercial Bank, Sampath Bank, DFCC Bank, HNB Bank and Mailstock Corporation were the top negative contributors to the index. Compared to previous sessions, retail participation picked up while high net worth investor activity remained subdued. Amidst this, the daily turnover dropped to 4.1 billion rupees, reflecting a 48% drop from the monthly average of nearly 7.7 billion rupees as well. In terms of sector-wise contribution to the overall turnover, the banking sector took the lead with the share of 30%, while capital goods sector and real estate sector followed behind with a combined contribution of nearly 28% as well. Top 3 price losers of the day were SMB Finance voting, Tess Agro non-voting and Navaloka Hospitals, while the top 3 price gainers of the day were Colombo Dockyard PLC, Pan Asian Power and Arpico Insurance.
Sri Lanka's stock market showed mixed performance last week amid ongoing economic uncertainties. Market activity was influenced by fluctuating investor sentiment and global economic factors. For further insights on this, we have Dimantha Matthews from First Capital Holdings.
Thanks, Prashansa. So last week we've seen a bit of a negativity in the market, and Monday also there was some amount of negativity with the market having a sort of a downward trajectory. Now this is coming off the uncertainty that is overall there in the market, and there's signs that this trend may continue into the future as well. So uncertainty coming off whether we will get the fourth tranche of the IMF, then what kind of tax implications may come off the budget that is likely to be presented end of next month or early November. So with it, some amount of uncertainty is created, and the market is somewhat looking for direction on these questions, and this is creating some amount of uncertainty among the investors. So we are seeing a bit of selling pressure coming in. However, there is some amount of buying interest as well from bargain hunters. However, there's a slightly higher level of selling pressure. That's why we are seeing a bit of a downward trend. There is a wait-and-see approach among the buyers, so we are seeing some amount of slight slowness in terms of turnover levels and volumes as well. We feel this week and next week this slowness is likely to continue as we come towards the end of the month, and once the earnings season starts up again, we feel the market is likely to be on a positive momentum. So until that time, we are seeing a bit of a stagnant movement. There could be positives and negatives. However, slight downward trajectory is likely to take place with the uncertain environment that is there. Thank you.
Gold price prices remain close to record highs in Asian trading today after gaining for a fourth straight week, underpinned by growing expectations that the US Federal Reserve will cut interest rates later this week. Spot gold edged 0.1% higher to $3,645.03 per ounce, not far from an all-time high of $3,673.95 touched last week. US gold futures ticked 0.1% lower to $3,682.70 an ounce. Other precious metals were subdued. Silver futures edged 0.2% lower to $42.76 per ounce, while platinum futures were largely unchanged at $1,410.45 an ounce. Benchmark copper futures on the London Metal Exchange gained 0.3% to $10,083.03 a ton, while US copper futures edged up 0.2% to $4.66 a pound. Oil prices rose in Asian trade today, extending mild gains from last week as traders watched for potential disruptions in Russian supply following Ukrainian drone attacks on Moscow's energy infrastructure. Brent oil futures for November rose 0.4% to $67.26 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 0.5% to $62.72 a barrel. Oil prices adhered about 1% last week after Ukraine ramped up on its attacks on Russian oil infrastructure, including its largest export terminal and major refinery. More Western restrictions on the purchase of Russian oil stand to further limit global supplies and appear likely, with the war between Moscow and Kyiv showing few signs of ceasing. Low rates tend to boost economic activity and could help support oil demand in the upcoming months. The Sri Lankan rupee has depreciated slightly against the US dollar today compared to last Friday. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the buying rate of the US dollar has increased from 298 rupees 11 cents to 298 rupees 25 cents, while the selling rate has also increased from 305 rupees 65 cents to 305 rupees 77 cents. The Sri Lankan rupee has also depreciated against basket of foreign currencies, while it has appreciated against Gulf currencies. Let's take a closer look on how the Sri Lankan rupee has performed against other major global currencies. Short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. People's Bank has introduced a special relief package to support struggling SMMEs with non-performing loans under 5 million rupees. This initiative aims to revive small businesses and aid economic recovery across Sri Lanka.
People's Bank has launched a special relief package to support micro, small and medium enterprises with non-performing loans below 5 million rupees. The initiative targets businesses severely affected by recent economic challenges and previously excluded from relief measures. MSMEs, which contribute over 52% of Sri Lanka's GDP and 45% of employment, have faced rising costs and limited access to credit. The package offers interest concessions, flexible repayment terms and options to restructure accrued interest into new concessionary loans. Eligible borrowers must meet specific criteria, including submission of a viable business plan, with applications open until the 31st of December. Through this effort, People's Bank aims to revive small businesses while improving its own loan portfolio management.
Prime Prime Lands Residencies PLC has acquired a prime plot of land in Bambalapitiya for 3.5 billion rupees, expanding its portfolio significantly. The property located on Bambalapitiya Station Road covers over 1 acre and includes lot numbers 2, 3 and 4 as per survey plan number 4196. An advance payment of 350 million rupees was made at auction, with the balance due within 30 days. This acquisition comes amid strong financial results, with a 7% increase in revenue and a 15% rise in profit for the quarter ended June 30th, 2025. The site is speculated to be linked to the previously planned Achillean luxury apartment project. The purchase positions Prime Lands for a major development in a prime Colombo residential and commercial area. Maharaja Foods PLC has partnered with Swatch Sri Lanka to open 4 new retail outlets in Colombo. The move supports the company's retail expansion strategy and builds on its recent strong financial performance.
Maharaja Foods PLC has entered a strategic partnership with Swatch Sri Lanka to launch 4 new retail outlets in the Colombo region. The collaboration, formalized through a memorandum of understanding, aims to enhance consumer access to Maharaja's products and strengthen its presence in the FMCG and food retail sectors. This expansion aligns with Maharaja Foods' long-term growth strategy by combining SPA's retail expertise with Maharaja's product distribution capabilities. The company recently reported a 75% increase in net profit for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025, reaching 14.27 million rupees alongside 17% rise in revenue. The expansion is funded partly by 125 million rupees raised through an IPO in July 2024, which also supported warehouse development in Mirigama.
Alliance Finance Company PLC has launched Sri Lanka's first ever social bond listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange. The bond proceeds with fund projects that provide social benefits, including support for marginalized communities, women-led enterprises, job creation and skills development. The initiative aligns with national priorities and several UN Sustainable Development Goals. AFC follows international best practices with transparent reporting and a strict project selection process. The bond receives strong support from major Sri Lankan banks such as Bank of Ceylon and DFCC Bank. This launch reinforces AFC's leadership in sustainable finance and its commitment to integrating social and environmental responsibility into its operations. Mahindra launches the Trio range of electric three-wheelers, offering real-world range, IP67 protection and a 5-year warranty. Designed for urban businesses, the Trio provides reliable, efficient and sustainable fleet solutions.
Mahindra has introduced a Trio range of electric three-wheelers designed for urban business needs. The range includes a Trio Passenger, Trio Plus and Trio Zo models, each offering real-world mileage between 110 and 150 kilometers per charge. Both the battery and motor feature IP67 certification, ensuring protection against dust and water immersion. The vehicles come with a comprehensive 5-year or 100,000 kilometer warranty, emphasizing reliability. Compact and maneuverable, the Trio range is ideal for last-mile deliveries in congested city environments. With lower operational costs and zero fuel expenses, the Trio supports sustainable and cost-effective fleet operations.
Let's take a short commercial break. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Asian shares steadied near 4-year highs today ahead of an action-packed week that is seemingly certain to see the US Federal Reserve resume its easing cycle and perhaps leave the door wide open to a series of cuts. But the Nikkei was shut for the holiday. Futures stood at 44,520, just below the cash close of 44,768, having climbed more than 4% last week. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan was last flat, although it did hit a new 4-year high earlier in the session. South Korea's market rose 0.4% to hit another record high after the government scrapped a plan to raise taxes on stock investment. Chinese shares outperformed, with the blue chips up 0.5% and Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index 0.2% higher. Swiss watchmaker Swatch has begun selling a special edition watch with the numbers 3 and 9 reversed on its face in a play on the 39% tariffs President Trump imposed on US imports from Switzerland.
Swatch has begun selling a special edition watch that jokes about tariffs. It has the number 3 and 9 reversed on its face. That's a play on the 39% tariffs President Donald Trump imposed on US imports from Switzerland last month. The tariffs are among the highest set by Trump worldwide and were met with shock in Switzerland. The watch costs 139 Swiss francs or $175 and is named What If Tariffs. The company said it went on sale on Wednesday and is only available in Switzerland. It further said the watch was made with a knowing wink and sent a wake-up call to the Swiss government, as authorities have so far not managed to secure lower tariffs. Swatch said it aims to be a short-lived product. A company spokesperson said they will stop selling the watch once the US changes its import duties for Switzerland. Swatch declined to say how many watches have been sold, but called the model a huge success.
Paramount Skydance is preparing a bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, potentially bringing together two storied Hollywood studios and reshaping the entertainment industry.
Paramount Skydance is preparing a bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. The move could bring together two storied Hollywood studios and potentially reshape the entertainment industry. It comes only weeks after media production outfit Skydance bought Paramount for over $8 billion. One analyst described the new bid as a sequel no one expected. It would bring together some of the best-known entertainment brands, ranging from DC Comics superheroes to sci-fi franchises like Star Trek. The deal would also put major news networks CBS and CNN under one roof. Shares in Warner Brothers Discovery surged as much as 30% following the initial reports, while Paramount gained 15%. However, the Wall Street Journal says no offer has yet been submitted and the plans could yet fall apart. Warner Brothers Discovery had been planning to split off its declining cable TV business from its studio and streaming units, but the Journal report says the new deal would see Skydance acquire all of the firm's media assets. The move would reportedly be backed by the Ellison family. That includes Skydance boss David Ellison and his father Larry, the multi-billionaire founder of Oracle. Legal experts say any takeover would be very likely to face scrutiny by competition watchdogs.
That wraps up today's Nightly Business Report. We value your opinion. Share your thoughts and feedback with us through email at feedback.ad24english@then.lk or via WhatsApp at 0768057933. We will see you again tomorrow with the latest updates in the business globe. Vinuth Varnasuriya will join you next with other Derana Sports Central. Until then, I'm Prashansa Gunawardana. Thank you for watching and have a good night.